I'm Raundler and you're watching Chelsea versus Newcastle United Premier League. This is a best-on-event simulation fully recorded and edited for your entertainment. No third-party footage, assets, or any other copyrighted material has been used. All content is self-produced for entertainment purpose only.
So welcome one and all to a picturesque evening here. A clear night, all the ingredients for a showcase game that the passionate crowd demands. This is the perfect game for all parties, not least the neutrals who've just come to enjoy it.
Well, under normal circumstances, this is a massive match-up, and I'm not totally in agreement with the view that friendlies tend to take the edge away. In my experience, if the opposition go at it full tilt, then you have to reciprocate. We'd like to see excitement and be entertained, but if it does go down the serious route, there'll still be lots to enjoy.
So it's away we go then. Palmer. Caicedo. James. Caicedo. Palmer. Out for a throw. Great chance! First effort on goal. And it's James. Palmer. Palmer going full steam down the flank. Oh, shooting chance! And for a moment, time stood still.
We're talking about creating a problem for yourself. Okay, credit to good pressing, but that was entirely avoidable.
Cleared away. Hall. Elanga. Botman. And it's played forward. Gordon. Hall. Bruno Guimaraes. Pedro Neto. Gordon. Hall. And it's Hall. Bruno Guimaraes. Livramento. Livramento's cross. Palmer. Pedro Neto. Palmer. Caicedo. Chalobah. Fernandes. It looked as though that might lead to something quite promising, but it turned out that that was not the case. Fernandes. There's a beautiful simplicity about this contest. Willing running on one side, dogged defence on the other. Fernandes. João Pedro applies the finish! Oh, the kick has done ever so well.
João Pedro clearly thought he had the beating of the keeper.
Horton looks to the other side. Elanga. Tonali. Livramento. And it's Livramento. That's not going far. Caicedo. Fernandes. Palmer. James. Palmer. Fernandes. João Pedro. Ah, now here's a good battle, bicep to bicep. Now it's Pedro Neto. Pedro Neto spread out to the left. And that was very necessary. Palmer. He's had a shot!
A truly wonderful strike, decorated with dip and curl. Well, it's one of those, Peter, when you've got to take your hat off and just say, too good.
So the game's first significant moment, and it's come earlier than perhaps we anticipated. And it's Tonali. Shapes to shoot! Pedro Neto. It's a throw-in. Bruno Guimaraes. Gordon. Can he finish?
Oh, once he made the save, it didn't take the keeper long to start barking at his defence.
Caicedo. João Pedro. It's a foul there right on the edge of the box. And the referee has given a free kick just outside the box.
Well, it was deliberate, it was cynical, and you have to understand the frustration of being denied a clear opportunity, but it had to be done.
He's having a go. Defending of the desperate variety. Now he's wondering who wants it. Good defending, albeit from an unexpected source.
He's dealt with that very well, Peter. It's a real show of discipline.
Livramento. Bruno Guimaraes. Gordon. Bruno Guimaraes. João Pedro. Pedro Neto. Caicedo. Now it's João Pedro. Fernandes. Caicedo. And it's James. Palmer. James. Well, that defending is unapologetically persistent. It's almost personal, and it had to be. Gordon. Bruno Guimaraes. Tonali. Livramento. Swings it across.
Well, they're clearly focusing on that right side, Peter. That's where the crosses are coming from, where the danger lies. Livramento clearly looking the key component now with the concentration on width. Gives the defence a decision to make, whether to go zonal or man-to-man now.
And it's Palmer. Fernandes. Pedro Neto. Cucurella. Fernandes. Cucurella. Fernandes. Caicedo. Fernandes. Oh, that's well done, really robust. Caicedo. Gordon. Oh, good spread. Elanga. Nice physical challenge. Well, the defence just about came out on top, but they were certainly tested. Cucurella. Pedro Neto. Proves too strong. Some good work on the right flank here. That's tidy. Real chance! And kept out by the most elastic of saves.
Really looked sharp there, didn't he? That's very well played.
James can get it clear. Gordon. Cucurella. Fernandes. Moved on forwards. Share. Gordon. Tonali. And it's Hall. Gordon. Bruno Guimaraes. Tonali. Livramento. Goes for a shot! Denied by an instinctive save.
Well, someone's doing his job properly, Peter, that's for sure.
Well, that's really good play on the right. He's driving forward. Caicedo. João Pedro. Cucurella. Oh, sweet feet. Cucurella crosses. Tonali. Botman. Livramento. Bruno Guimaraes. And it's Hall. Gordon. Hall. That's good play. Oh, great header! Great effort. He flew in with courage.
No complaints about his effort and commitment. He just needs to start heading in the right direction.
You get the drift. Fernandes. Pedro Neto. Palmer, now he's off and running. James. Caicedo. Cucurella. Oh, that's neat. Fernandes. Pedro Neto. Crossed into the box. Takes a shot! Oh, it's come loose. Pedro Neto. Oh, he's got a crucial block in there. There's some great running on show here, but ultimately there was no way through. And it's Livramento. Succumbs to the pressure. Oh, it's come loose. Cucurella. Pedro Neto. Joao Pedro. Fernandes. Pedro Neto is sporting a guilty look after that.
Well, that's down to a simple miscalculation. No more, no less.
Bruno Guimaraes. Gordon. And it's Hall. Time to deliver. Gordon. Looks as though there's been a call to arms here for those 6-foot plenties to head towards the penalty area.
Yeah, they've got plenty targets awaiting, so they'll be looking to get on the end of anything that gets played into the box.
Fernandes. Fernandes forwards and with intent. Played out to the right. Plenty waiting in the middle. That has been knocked clear. And here's Palmer. Here comes... Can he finish? Oh, good delivery. Almost a perfect outcome.
That's good play. Plenty of targets in the penalty area and plenty of movement too.
Bruno Guimaraes. Gordon. Tonali. So just the one early goal to report so far. And the score is 1-0. Tries the cross. Pedro Neto. And it's Fernandes. Elanga. Livramento. Ciao. Bruno Guimaraes.
Gordon. Paul. Muscular approach does pay off here. Cross goes in there. Climbs up big.
That is clearly not the outcome he wanted.
You really could have done with engaging those crosses much higher up the pitch there. This isn't good defending. Colwell gently done. João Pedro. Pedro Neto. Elanga. Xiao. Yeah, he's fouled him there.
Caicedo gets his final warning.
I don't think you need to be an expert lip reader to know what's being said here. And it's Livramento. Gordon.
And the finish! Decent enough try.
We're talking fine margins, very fine margins.
That's really well manoeuvred.
Pedro Neto.
Excellent challenge there, uncompromising.
Tonali. Livramento. Elanga. Bruno Guimaraes. Paul. And here's Gordon. Gordon's cross. Sanchez deals with that nice and simple. Caicedo. Cucurella. Pedro Neto. Cucurella puts the ball in. Bruno Guimaraes. And it's Livramento. The pressing's intense and it's paid off. Pedro Neto. Pedro Neto. Cucurella. Pedro Neto. He's shifting through the gears here. Elanga. Xiao. Bruno Guimaraes is onto it in a flash. Elanga. And it's Livramento. Tonali. Bruno Guimaraes.
Bruno Guimaraes. Purring through the gears. Fernandes. Pedro Neto. Fernandes. Colwell, aim forwards. Chalobah. Gordon. Bruno Guimaraes. Hall. Gordon. That's a good run down the left. Expertly cut out, really nicely done. Elanga. Danger averted for now. Gordon. He's got options in the box if he gets his head up. There's the header! Went with his head, but couldn't steer it in.
I can't quite believe he's missed that free kick.
James, looking up to see who wants it. Caicedo. Great defending, strong and determined. Gordon. Knocks it out wide. Showing good feet. And it's Guimaraes. Out towards the flank. That's very neat. Colwell. Caicedo. Oh, can he get onto this? Gordon. Tonali. Proves too strong. Palmer looking understandably energised after his goal. Chalobah. Fernandes. Fernandes shifted upfield. And they've got a throw. Does really well to win the ball there. Strong running down that left flank. He's got away. João Pedro. Aimed in towards the centre. Clear away. Paul gently done. Gordon. Tonali. Livramento. Tonali succumbs to the pressure. Forward tracking back like that, always appreciated by the crowd.
Yeah, listen, we often get critical of a forward's tackle, but that was squeaky clean.
João Pedro. Pedro Neto. He's making a real surge on the left. João Pedro. Played out wide. Great work on the overlap. Lovely bit of skill. Looking for a decent ball in. Oh, Such a clever touch. And it's hoisted clear. And it's Fernandez. Shot a goal! There was plenty of power on that. Elanga. Livramento. Chance to play it in. Played into the middle. That's an excellent interception. James. Colwell. Moved on forwards. Gordon. Bruno Guimaraes. Pedro Neto. Cucurella. Pedro Neto. Fofana. Fofana. Head over towards the opposite flank. Botman. Elanga. Livramento. Share. And it's Hall. James did well to emerge with the ball. That's a contest to keep an eye on.
Well, they're labouring their way towards the opposition goal here, Peter, and this needs a much livelier solution.
James. Can he deliver? Palmer. Pedro Neto. Fernandez. And here's Neto. Turns and goes back. Chance!
Palmer usually is so good from that range. He didn't quite connect as he can, though.
Gordon. Hall. Bruno Guimaraes. And it's Livramento. Pedro Neto wins the duel this time. Fernandez. Palmer. Joao Pedro. And here's Palmer. Palmer. Well, the defence proved infallible then, but that won't be the last they'll see of him. Gordon. And it's Livramento. Livramento. Bruno Guimaraes. Hall. Bruno Guimaraes. And the shot! It's anyone's ball now. Colwill attempts a clearance. Bruno Guimaraes, out to the left it goes. Bruno Guimaraes, and here's Gordon. Nice control. Xiao, aim forwards. Livramento. There are a few waiting for it. He's having a shot! Oh, that was a brilliant save.
Yeah, he was well placed to deal with that.
James, and it goes cross-field. Pedro Neto. Cucurella. And here's Neto. Livramento does really well to win the ball there. And it's Livramento. Alanga. Alanga! It's off target and by quite a way.
Well, let's just consider that one a rangefinder, Peter. It certainly wasn't troubling the goalkeeper.
That's really well manoeuvred. Hall. Gordon. Well read, and the danger is averted. Out to the right. That is a great pick out. He is through. Big chance! And look what it means to them. This is a position of genuine strength now. We knew what was coming, and he has outfoxed the keeper again.
Well, was there ever any doubt? It made it look like he's done it over and over and over again, and he has.
So that's two now without reply.
Well, with this kind of authority, Peter, why not push on and totally kill this off?
Tonali. Gordon. Lovely feet. Excellent challenge there, uncompromising. James, defending his corner stubbornly, stood up very well to his man. James. Caicedo. Fernandez. Cucurella. And it's Cucurella. Cucurella crosses. Xiao clears it away. Goes for the shot! And a terrific save from the keeper.
Really anticipated that well, didn't he?
Gordon. Tonali. Alanga. Hall. Hall. Tonali.
Well, that's good defending. He squeezed the play and he gave him no chance to get on the turn.
João Pedro. Pressing's intense, and it's paid off. Gordon. Great. Now that does look a foul. Referee's given a free kick. And he's going to have his name taken.
I just think it was a cheap foul to give away.
Last-ditch defending, but that'll do. Colwell. Palmer. Chalobah. And it's played forward. James. And it's Palmer. Share. Gordon. Tonali. Fernandez. Pedro Neto. And he's on a charge. Pedro Neto. Fernandez. Cucurella. Ball is over the line. Pedro Neto. There's the shot! Looking for support. Palmer. And he shoots! Tonali getting this one clear. Botman. Elanga. And it's Livramento. Oh, that's nice. Livramento, and that's aimed into the middle. Gordon. And the shot goes to finish! James. Colwell. James. Forwards and with intent. Always onto this. There's no flat. And a chance! A real chance and a real let-off.
Well, he looked pretty much unstoppable there. The only thing missing was the finish, of course.
Bruno Guimaraes. Elanga. Livramento. So who's he picking out? Tonali. Bruno Guimaraes. Tonali. Palmer. Caicedo. Fernandez. Cucurella. Pedro Neto. Cucurella. Caicedo. Cucurella. And it's Cucurella. Caicedo. Approaching the half-hour mark. Palmer knocks it out wide. Tonali. Share. Gordon. Xiao. Elanga. The message is clear, none shall pass. Tonali. Tonali, gently done. Shoots! Goal! Just so calm under pressure, and he managed to fashion a fine finish.
Well, he had to deal with an awful lot of unwanted attention, but his tenacity won the day.
This is threatening to become a really good game.
Well, we have a very different game on our hands now, all of a sudden. This one's totally up for grabs.
Palmer! And yet another chance goes to waste.
Well, the breakthrough hasn't come yet, Peter, but you do feel they're upping the ante here. They'll get the reward if they can stick at this.
Elanga. They get a throw in. Tonali. Bruno Guimaraes played out towards the right wing. That has been knocked clear. Tonali. Oh, good spread. And he's there to clear it. And it's Tonali. Chance for a shot! Big relief, it just needed better contact.
Tonali probably should have taken a breath and looked for runners. It helps to put your head up from time to time, Peter.
Now it's João Pedro. Pedro Neto. Cucurella picks it up now. Oh, what a play! He scores! It is a good finish. The odds were against him. Little matter.
Such a well-worked finish. It looked like he was going to be shut down, but he thrives in situations like that.
So the lead now is 2.
Well, everything is going to plan, Peter. A day for a regular managerial heartbeat, at least for one.
Tonali has created 1 goal already. And it's Hall. Hall. Share. Gordon. There's no getting past him. It's really well defended. Oh, he's enjoyed that. He evidently loves the contest.
Well, if you dwell on it for that long, that's what happens.
Livramento. Oh, that's well done, really robust. Referee's given a throw. Livramento. Share. Livramento. Livramento chooses to go cross-field. Bruno Guimaraes. Tonali. Chalobah gets it clear. Thiaw have it back and can go again. Livramento. Cucurella. Fernandes. Fofana. Cucurella. Hall. Gordon. Well, there was an element of promise insofar as they kept the ball well, but they did very little with it. Played out to the right. And here's Palmer. And it's James. Here it is, crossed. It's a mighty effort! Well, couldn't quite control it.
You really could have done with engaging those crossers much higher up the pitch there. This isn't good defending.
Tonali. Elanga. Gordon chasing after it. Palmer. James. Caicedo. Cucurella. And played cross-field, changing the point of attack. Palmer. That's a promising run he's making on the right. And here's Palmer. Palmer puts a cross in. Now then, the ball's come loose. And here's Palmer. And here's Fernandes. Oh, well cut out. No margin for error there at all. That's going to go a long way. And it's James. James, there's the delivery. Tries to get it clear. He is just caressing the ball. Hit into the middle. Thiaw is there, and he can get that clear. Thiaw tries to clear. Fernandes. Looking for a decent ball in. That has been knocked clear. Hall. Gordon going full tilt down the left. Throw it. Gordon. Now the cross. A corner it is then. it's Livramento. Oh, lovely feed, he is such a good mover. And he's there to clear it. James. Caicedo. Excellent challenge there, uncompromising. Tonali. Gordon. Livramento. Nice physical challenge. Well, that is good. Super running, sharp movement. Came up against a defender, though, who was ever so determined. Cucurella. Fofana. Colwill. Played towards the other side. Pedro Neto. Fernandez. Delicate ball, and it needs to be. Well, the less said about that pass, the better. Tonali. That's really well manoeuvred. It's a good run down the right. Very nicely done. And it's Livramento. Tonali. Hall. And here's Gordon. Steaming on goalwards. Oh, he's going to be pulled back for that one. Chalobah gets it away. Pedro Neto. Colwill. Coming up to half-time, leading, and things are looking pretty good. Shad gets over and intercepts. Caicedo. Fernandez. Pedro Neto. Cucurella. That is lovely. Fernandez. Pedro Neto. Oh, smashing header! Relentless! Just relentless! Up by 3. They have their boot on the throats of their foes. No space, no problem. You just cannot stop him.
Almond demonstrated great strength there. I mean, he really had to hold his man off and just create enough room for him to be able to get the shot away. And I think it's just top play.
Clinical, just clinical. What a game this is turning out to be for him.
This is such a dominant performance. The defence are sick of the sight of him, but he doesn't look finished just yet.
So now the difference is 3.
Well, that's really winded the opposition. You can see their manager screaming on the touchline, telling his team to calm down. But they'll need to do that pretty quickly. It's composure from here.
And it's Livramento. Livramento. Now here's the delivery. Botman. Tonali. Gordon. Bruno Guimaraes. Tonali. Tries a deft little ball. And he's there to get it away. And that's been won straight back. Cher, ambitious ball here. It's out for a goal kick. Palmer. Colwell. James looks to get on the end of this. Well, that is not the best ball, and he offers an apologetic look.
Ah, he made it look a bit predictable.
Tonali. And it's Livramento. Oh, nice touch. He's got options in the box, and the shot! He's kept it out, just.
Oh, what a chance. He probably had more time than he realised.
Fernandez, played over towards the opposite flank. Some good work on the right flank here. James. Proves too strong. Bruno Guimaraes. Tonali. Elanga. Looks to the other side. Not the most accurate pass. Caicedo. And it's played forward. That's very neat. And that has been cleared. And the shot! Keeper gets just about enough of it.
Well, I suppose he was being urged to shoot. Maybe the crowd will stay a little quieter next time.
Defending of the desperate variety. And that is out of play. Palmer. Palmer. Oh, that's neat. A chance to play it in. And here's Palmer. The pressing's intense, and it's paid off. Livramento. Played cross-field, changing the point of attack. And it's Guimaraes. Bruno Guimaraes, played out to the left flank. Lovely bit of skill. Gets his head on it! Just needed better contact.
It's almost like he had too much thinking time there, Peter.
Palmer, spread out to the left. Cucurella. Pedro Neto. Can he latch on to this? Can he deliver? Fernandez. Pedro Neto. Fernandez chips it through. Good spell of possession this, but very little to show for it. Bruno Guimaraes. Moved on forwards. Elanga. That's a throw. Caicedo. Fernandez. João Pedro. He's going to be disappointed with that. Gordon. Bruno Guimaraes. And it's Livramento. He is just caressing the ball. Livramento. Oh, it's played into the area. Caicedo. Out to the left it goes. And he's managed to get free. Pedro Neto. Oh, lots to admire in the run and the defending. Oh, the movement is slick, the speed is slippery. The defence, though, able to hold on this time. Cucurella. Cucurella. Cucurella puts the ball in. And it's hoisted clear. Elanga. Bruno Guimaraes. Gordon. And it's Hall. Hall. And here's Gordon. And here's Gordon. Gordon's cross. Fofana gets it away. That's tidy. Plenty waiting in the middle. Tonali. Gordon. Here's a shot! João Pedro. Palmer. João Pedro. Now it's Pedro Neto. Cucurella. Cucurella charging forward down that flank. That's a good ball. Thiaw shifted upfield. Bruno Guimaraes. Fernandez wins the duel this time. And it's Cucurella. And it's been played through. And he's onside. Tries a shot! It goes to show he is human after all.
Well, that was highly impressive. He went through them like a knife through butter, so that's raised an alarm or two.
Bruno Guimaraes. Gordon. Hall. Oh, it's a nice idea, but the execution was lacking. Fernandez. That has been cut short. Hall. Gordon. Shad, and he goes cross-field. Livramento. Elanga. Bruno Guimaraes. Hall. João Pedro. Cucurella. João Pedro. Over to the left. Pedro Neto. Pedro Neto with the delivery. Tonali. Hall. Gordon. Hall. Share. Gordon. And he's there to clear it. Gordon played back in. Pedro Neto. Well, that's really good play on the right. He's driving forward and played cross-field, changing the point of attack. Fernandez. Caicedo. And it's Caicedo. And here's Palmer. James crosses. Out of play for a goal kick. Gordon. Board shows there will be 3 extra minutes. Good play on the left-hand side here. Nice interception, well timed. Pedro Neto. Cucurella. Fernandez. Fofana, played over towards the opposite flank. João Pedro. Oh, good spread. He's in plenty of space here. Palmer has it in a wide position. Time to deliver. Gordon. Hall. Livramento. Livramento's cross. Palmer. Colwell. Palmer. Fernandez. Cucurella. Fofana. Pedro Neto. Pedro Neto goes hurtling down that left-hand side. And it's Fernandez. Whistle's gone, that's a foul. He's gone for the shots. Botman can get it clear. Caicedo. Fernandez, played out to the left flank. Played back in. Caicedo. And the ball's come loose here. Gordon. And that's a throw-in. Keeper has taken decisive action. Livramento gently done. Not pretty, but it gets the job done. Palmer. James looking for a runner, and that could set him on his way. Shot, surely! Elanga. Tonali. Decent chance! Keeper's got his work done. Caicedo. Now it's João Pedro. Palmer. And it's James. Has a quick glance. They've won a corner.
Abandoned their shoot on sight policy. It's just not working.
Palmer. Chalobah. Fofana. Cucurella.
Pedro Neto.
Palmer. Colwill. Palmer. Palmer carries the ball down the right. Gordon does really well to win the ball there. Gordon did just about enough to come out on top there. Neither party overly willing to compromise.
Well, for me, Peter, I think it's all too pedestrian and slow. They need a large injection of purpose now.
Fernandez. Palmer. Colwill. Chalobah. Fernandez.
Pedro Neto.
Fernandez. Caicedo. Palmer. And it's James. Palmer providing an outlet on that flank.
Well, that might be the first time they've gone long, Peter. They've clearly been told to try something different.
Fernandez. Caicedo. Well, that had the makings of something quite promising, but it's fizzled out into nothing. That's a throw. Fernandez. Caicedo. Cucurella.
Pedro Neto.
Fofana. Tonali. Elanga. Livramento. Tonali. Bruno Guimaraes. Tonali. Livramento. That is lovely. Bruno Guimaraes.
Well, that was well positioned and well pinched. They can't hurt with their backs to goal.
Fofana. Caicedo. Palmer. That's a promising run he's making on the right. And here's Palmer. And it's James. Up he goes! Arrived on cue, but fluffed his line.
Look, we've all been there. Nothing will make him feel much better at the moment.
Elanga. It's a great gallop down the right-hand side. Liverment. Oh, smashing header! Read the delivery beautifully, but got the finish all wrong. Caicedo. James. Chalobah. James. Caicedo. Aim forwards. Hall gets across to intercept that. James. James, gently done. And that's been well dealt with. James, crossed in once more. And it's kept out by a stubborn defence. Fernandes. Cucurella. Out of play for a throw. And it's Cucurella. Fernandes. Cucurella crosses. Last-ditch defending, but that'll do. Caicedo. Fernandes. João Pedro. Cucurella. There are a few waiting for it. Oh, such a clever touch. And that has been cleared. Fernandes. Can he finish? Oh, that's a waste. And it's played forward. Gordon. And it's Hall. Hall drives forward on the overlap. Well, that is a good challenge from him. There's a beautiful simplicity about this contest. Willing running on one side, dogged defence on the other. Cucurella. Fofana. Colwill. Moved on forwards. Tonali. Bruno Guimaraes. Now it's João Pedro. Colwill. Palmer. James. That's really well manoeuvred. Gordon. Excellent challenge there, uncompromising. Well, the defence just about came out on top, but they were certainly tested. Cucurella. Fofana. Fofana forwards and with intent. Tonali did well to step in there. That was more than necessary. Bruno Guimaraes. He certainly caught him there. It's a free kick. Gordon! Oh, the ball's come loose here. And it's claimed by the keeper. Bruno Guimaraes. Great defending, strong and determined. James. Caicedo. Fofana. Fernandes. Cucurella. Fernandes. Cucurella. Chalobah. Tonali. Livramento. Bruno Guimaraes. Hall. Bruno Guimaraes. Looking here to chip it through. James with the clearance. Livramento, and he's gone backward here. And he's been booked for simulation.
Well, that's just very cynical. For him to think he could get away with it is ugly on his part.
Keeper's got good distance on that. Clearly not happy with that. Gordon. Bruno Guimaraes. Livramento. Elanga. Colwell attempts a clearance. That's the throw. Livramento's cross. João Pedro. Bruno Guimaraes wins the duel this time. And that is as far as they're going to go. Great run on the overlap here. That's well blocked, and back out it comes. Pedro Neto. Cucurella. Fernandez. Caicedo looks to the other side. João Pedro. Caicedo. Palmer. James. The pressing's intense, and it's paid off. Well, that defending is unapologetically persistent. It's almost personal, and it had to be. And it's Livramento. Bruno Guimaraes.
Well, that was well positioned and well pinched. They can't hurt with their backs to goal.
Fernandez. Caicedo. Caicedo played into space. Played into space out wide. Tonali. Botman shifted upfield. Tonali. Bruno Guimaraes. Bruno Guimaraes played out towards the right wing. Fernandez. Fofana. Cucurella. Fofana. Chalobah. Pedro Neto. Cucurella forwards and with intent. Botman cuts out the pass. Livramento. Elanga. Bruno Guimaraes. Gordon! What a hit! The save was firm.
Well, the defence are in a good position to get behind the ball and let them just try from range.
Fernandez. Out to the right. Share. Tonali. Elanga. Played towards the other side. That's a little off target. Colwell. Well, Jim, this really does look like a safety in numbers approach to defending we're seeing here.
Well, sometimes you just have to prepare for what's coming your way, and they know that they're going to be involved in certainly the next spell of physicality in dealing with an aerial approach.
Yeah, it's toe-to-toe, bicep to bicep, all about feet and inches. Xiao. Fofana. Noticeable change in the approach to defending here. Much more in your face.
Well, this defence now knows that they have to reduce his movement because they've allowed him to run free.
Colwell chooses to go cross-field. Elanga. Oh, lovely feed, he is such a good mover. Oh, it's a searing run, he is a man on a mission. And that's been repelled. And that has been clubbed away. It's gone for a throw-in. Livramento. Livramento. Whistle's gone, that's a foul. The referee has resisted the temptation to go to his pocket. It's just a stern lecture. Climbs up big! And that has forced the very best out of the keeper. Gets it away. Chooses to go back. Hall, back when it goes. He's having a shot! Fernandez. Great defending, strong and determined. Livramento. Tonali. Livramento. Bruno Guimaraes. And it's Hall. Elanga. Pedro Neto. James. Caicedo. Chalobah. Fernandez. Pedro Neto. Cucurella. Pedro Neto. Fernandez. Fofana. And it's played forward. Bruno Guimaraes. Hall, aim forwards. And it's Hall. Bruno Guimaraes. Now this could be a chance. He can get that clear. And reclaimed it in a trice. Bruno Guimaraes. Gordon. Very Very nicely done. Bruno Guimaraes. Tonali. Good chance here! And that is a save of real quality. Not easy by any means.
Well, talking about playing into your opponent's hands, that kind of thing is not going to get them back into this game.
James. Palmer in acres of space out wide. Bruno Guimaraes. Tonali, gently done. Hall. Bruno Guimaraes. And it's Hall. Tonali. Bruno Guimaraes. He's had a shot! Keeper's not concerned by that.
Well, the defence are in a good position to get behind the ball and let them just try from range.
James. Palmer. Colwell. Caicedo. Cucurella. Pedro Neto. Thiaw makes the interception. Bruno Guimaraes. Hall. Gordon. Hall. Tonali. Bruno Guimaraes. Hall. Tonali. Out towards the flank. No way through, so back it comes. Nice control. Oh, shooting chance! And it's hoisted clear. That'll be a throw-in. And it's Cher. And here's Gordon. Gordon's cross. And he's there to clear it. Bruno Guimaraes knocks it out wide. The ball is loose and the chase is on. Bruno Guimaraes. Botman. Caicedo. James. Moved on forwards. It's an inviting looking ball, that. He's through here. Now it's João Pedro. And the finish! Oh, extraordinary.
João Pedro has just shown why those situations demand a higher grade of focus. He fluffed it.
Bruno Guimaraes. Gordon. Caicedo. Palmer. James. Cucurella. Caicedo. Played towards the other side. Botman. Elanga. Bruno Guimaraes. A mixture of good defending and indecisive passing. No progress. Cucurella. Colwill. Livramento. Elanga. That's a good run he's making there. Oh, he's dealt with that well. Fernandes. And it's Guimaraes. Bruno Guimaraes. Probing pass. And claimed it back swiftly. That's good play. And that's a dangerous ball. And that's surely a foul. Free kick.
Well, I think the alternative was to stand there and do nothing while he tried to score, and obviously he's not going to allow that, Peter, is he?
Now, the ref's been lenient here. I doubt he'll get too many more chances. Gordon! Oh, it's a stunning goal! A finish right from the top draw. They're back within reach. That was beautiful. Something close to genius. So is this the start of a comeback? Cucurella. Hall. And here's Gordon. Oh, sweet feet. Bruno Guimaraes. He's being... And the shot! He's got away with one there.
Well, it wasn't the best pass, was it? The apologetic look says it all, really. He knows he could have got his team in real trouble now.
Fofana. That's really well manoeuvred. Nicely intercepted. Elanga. Tonali. Oh, good spread. And it's made its way to him. Oh, the movement is slick, the speed is slippery. The defence, though, able to hold on this time. Caicedo. And here's Palmer. There's some great running on show here, but ultimately there was no way through. Elanga. James. Chalobah. Moved on forwards. James. Caicedo. Chalobah. Oh, can he get onto this? Pedro Neto. Cucurella. Played in with purpose. Gordon, forwards and with intent. James. Pedro Neto. João Pedro. James. And here's Palmer. Palmer. It's gone out for a throw-in. Lovely feet. And it's James. Cleared without complication. Gordon. Hall. Tonali. Tonali, gently done. Tries to get it clear. And it's been taken short. Oh, that's nice. So who's he picking out? Delivered across. And back out it comes. Fernandez. It'll be a throw-in. Bruno Guimaraes. Another throw-in. And it's Hall. Last-ditch defending, but that'll do. James. Palmer. James. Palmer. Played it again. Oh, what a climb! That needed to be better, and he knows it.
João Pedro really isn't happy with himself after that, having done so well to get on the end of it too.
Botman aim forwards. Gordon. Well, it looked promising for a moment, but it came to nothing. And it's played forward. Oh, he'd have done well to reach that. And played cross-field, changing the point of attack. Bruno Guimaraes. Tonali. And it's Livramento. Lovely feet. Plenty waiting in the middle. Elanga. A reprieve, albeit perhaps momentary. Tonali shifted upfield. Gordon delivers with whip. Colwell can get it clear. Cucurella. Pedro Neto. Chalobah. Fernandez. Chalobah played out towards the right wing. Share. James. Palmer. James. Colwell. Chalobah. Pedro Neto. Cucurella. Fofana. Fernandez. Palmer. Caicedo. Palmer. Colwell. Chalobah. Played out to the right. What a throw in. Hall. Hall drives forward on the overlap. Time to deliver. And he's heaved it away. Caicedo, gently done. Pedro Neto. Now it's Pedro. Oh, good spread. And it's James. Crossed into the middle. That has been knocked clear. Moved on forwards. Succumbs to the pressure. He ran himself into trouble there. Free kick given away. Gordon opts to play it back. Cucurella. Chalobah. James. Palmer. Pedro. Out to the right. Share. Livramento. Elanga. Bruno Guimaraes. And it's Hall. That's really well cleared. Fernandez. Chalobah aim forwards. And it's played forward.
Well, it seems as if he's just had a momentary lapse and slipped into tunnel vision, because he had good options around him and he failed to get his head up.
Bruno Guimaraes, forwards and with intent. Chalobah does really well.
Looks a foul. Yeah, referee's given it. That's disappointing. It's a loose ball. Bruno Guimaraes. Pedro Neto. Pedro. Now it's Palmer. Pedro Neto. Cucurella. The ball goes in. And that's the keeper's ball.
Tonali played out towards the right wing. Fernandez wins the duel this time. Caicedo. Fernandez. Pedro Neto. João Pedro. That's great defensive work. It doesn't take too much imagination to guess what would have happened otherwise.
Oh, I was on the edge of my seat then. He just took on one too many.
Tonali. Hall. And here's Gordon. And it's Hall. Bruno Guimaraes. And there's the shot!
Well, that's confidence for you. Distance doesn't even bother him.
Cucurella. That's really well manoeuvred. And the pass is intercepted. Elanga. Tonali. Bruno Guimaraes. Hall. Now can he find a finish? Bruno Guimaraes. Cucurella. Caicedo. Palmer. Colwell shifted upfield. Almost 75 minutes on the clock now. And it's Palmer. Caicedo. Played out to the right. Zhao. Hall. Tonali. Elanga. Tonali. Bruno Guimaraes. Tonali. Bruno Guimaraes. Hangs in across. Chalobah gets it away. Tonali. Bruno Guimaraes. Deftly away. And here comes the corner. And he's there to clear it. And it's Hall. Now it's Gordon. That's a cute ball. Tries to get it clear. No messing about, just bludgeoned away. Livramento. Share. Bruno Guimaraes. Gordon. He is just caressing the ball. And he has been fouled there. He gets the ticking off and needs to be very careful now.
He just needs to find the control button on his aggression before the ref does it for him, Peter.
Livramento. And he shoots! James, and it's played forward. Palmer tries making a foray down the right. Oh, lovely feed, he is such a good mover. Looking for a decent ball in. And it's Caicedo. Excellent challenge there, uncompromising. And they've got rid. James. Caicedo. João Pedro.
Well, that's good defending. He squeezed the play and he gave him no chance to get on the turn.
Gordon. Who's he going to play in? That's good play. Paul flashes it across. And it's hoisted clear. Cucurella. Fernandez. Colwill. Aim forwards. Palmer. Now he's off and running. Gordon. Tonali, gently done. And it's Guimaraes. Bruno Guimaraes. Livramento. Very nicely done. Livramento. That's tidy. Bruno Guimaraes! It's a goal! And that is about as cool as they come. He picked his spot expertly.
Well, Peter, I think the keeper knew straight away he was never going to get to it.
We have got ourselves a game here.
Well, I think they have every chance of levelling this now, Peter, but they've got to stay calm and not go completely gung-ho.
Cucurella. Chalobah. Fernandez. It's an inviting looking ball, that. Gordon. Moved on forwards.
Well, there's plenty to like about this approach. Get your head down, keep battling away, and eventually things might change for you.
Chalobah forwards and with intent. Caicedo. Chalobah. Gordon. Bruno Guimaraes. Tonali. Bruno Guimaraes. That has been knocked clear.
Keep calm and carry on. That's the job in a nutshell now.
Lobbed in behind.
I think the message here is quite clear, Peter. They want another one and will seemingly keep going until they get it.
And it's Hall. Gordon. Gordon!
Hall. Tonali. Bruno Guimaraes. Keep calm and carry on. That's the job in a nutshell now.
Now it's João Pedro. Oh, good spread. Now it's Palmer. Caicedo. Palmer looking to get on the end of this. Goes for the header! He has done it! And surely that clinches it. There really is no way back now. Spectacular header. He really flung himself at that.
Well, he had a choice to make. He could have gone with his foot, but he got it absolutely right with that diving header. Brilliant.
Well, that has changed the dynamic somewhat. Bruno Guimaraes. Hall. Caicedo. James. Caicedo. Chalobah, aim forwards. It's just beyond his reach. Gordon. Tonali. Oh, what a ball! Foul right on the edge of the box. It could go either way here. No, the referee's judged that the offence took place outside the area. And he is going into that little black book.
Yeah, well, they were exposed and vulnerable, and he knew he had to do something to prevent a goal then.
Gordon! And the ball's come loose here. Hall, delivered with some mighty effort! Oh, split-second reaction.
I think he's done great there, both reading it and dealing with it.
Oh, smashing header! No mistake! A wonderful delivery, and all it needed was a touch.
Yeah, it all came from some really smart movement, Peter. Did the defence let themselves down by not picking him up? I think the boss won't be amused.
This is threatening to become a really good game.
Well, they'll just be praying that one more chance falls their way before the whistle goes.
Palmer hurtling down that right flank. James. And it's Caicedo. Fernandez. Cucurella. Can he finish? Dealt with nicely by the defence.
They may end up with some regret with this tactic, but you have to admire their commitment to goals.
Hall. Bruno Guimaraes. Turns and goes back. Real chance! Pedro Neto. Caicedo. Tonali does really well to win the ball there. Bruno Guimaraes, gently done. Elanga. Livramento. Hall. Caicedo gets rid without sophistication. Livramento. Elanga. Livramento making good progress on the right-hand side. Oh, what a climb! So close to drawing level.
Gordon, well, at least it's earned a little applause from the boss. The finish was lacking, but everything else was pretty good.
Oh, that's a nice ball.
I think the message here is quite clear, Peter. They want another one and will seemingly keep going until they get it.
Hall played over towards the opposite flank.
Well, there's plenty to like about this approach. Get your head down, keep battling away, and eventually things might change for you.
Moved on forwards. Gordon. Tonali. That's really well manoeuvred. And it's Tonali. Chalobah gets good distance on it and reclaimed it in a trice. Livramento. Tonali. Fofana, and it's played forward. Well played, that has snuffed out the danger. Botman shifted upfield. Livramento, played into the middle. Chalobah tries to clear. Tonali. Now it's Pedro. Palmer. Colwell. James. Fofana. That's really well manoeuvred. The pressing's intense and it's paid off. Caicedo. James. And it's Palmer. That's a cute ball. Oh, it's inches away from being a really good ball.
They may end up with some regret with this tactic, but you have to admire their commitment to goals.
Hall. Shapes to shoot!
Keep calm and carry on. That's the job in a nutshell now.
James. Chalobah. Chalobah played out towards the right wing. Fernandez. Colwill. Fernandez. Fofana looks to the other side. Pedro Neto.
I think the message here is quite clear, Tito. They want another one and will seemingly keep going until they get it.
Ooh, delicate chip through. That has been knocked clear.
They may end up with some regret with this tactic, but you have to admire their commitment to goals.
Hit into the middle. It's in! Looks to be very much like an own goal.
That can happen to anyone. It's truly, truly unlucky for him, but it's just the way it is.
So one moment's crazy confusion, but they all count.
Well, that's something you don't expect at a match like this, but I guess you have to take whatever way it comes, and very gratefully.
Gordon. Into the last 5 minutes. Fernandez. Cucurella. Fernandez. Played out to the right. Well timed, excellent interception. Botman. Tonali. Aim forwards. Elanga. They really do have to make something of this. Now the ball in. And he's there to clear it. In again. He's offering some sort of an apology there.
Clearly is miffed, having made the run and not get picked out.
Gordon. That is lovely. Played out wide. Now it's Bruno. Shoots! Fofana attempts a clearance. Cucurella. Chalobah. Caicedo. Palmer. Caicedo. Palmer. Cher. Bruno Guimaraes. Cher. Cher gently done. And it's Hall. Gordon. Oh, nice touch. Keeper's dealt with that. Goes down, but nothing given. Palmer. James. Chalobah. Cucurella. Pedro Neto. Fofana. Fernandez. Fofana. Chalobah. Moved on forwards. Bruno Guimaraes. Elanga. That is a brilliant interception. Cucurella. Colwill. Chalobah. And it's played forward. James. Caicedo. And claimed it back swiftly. This could be their final throw of the dice. Fofana is there, and he can get that clear. Could have here their final chance. James. Oh, that's well done, really robust. Hall. Share. Hall. Gordon. Nice control. Now it's Gordon. Fernandez. Palmer. João Pedro. James. Palmer. Tonali wins the duel this time. Livramento. Tonali. Hall. Gordon. Hall. That's very neat. Goes for a shot! Gordon. Tonali. Palmer. Colwill. Fernandez. Colwill. Palmer. Hall. Bruno Guimaraes. Elanga. Great defending, strong and determined. Fernandez. Pedro Neto. Fofana. Caicedo. Palmer. Caicedo. Chalobah. Chalobah forwards and with intent. Fernandez. And he goes cross-field. James. Fernandez. Caicedo. Now he's got space here. And here's Neto. Cross goes in there. He's cut it out. Time added on 4 minutes. Bruno Guimaraes aim forwards. Gordon. Last chance perhaps. James does really well to win the ball there. Palmer. James. Share. Bruno Guimaraes. Gordon. Bruno Guimaraes. Tonali. And it's Livramento. Fernandez spread out to the left. Oh, sweet feet. Elanga. Livramento. Botman. Bruno Guimaraes. Gordon. Bruno Guimaraes. Tonali. Bruno Guimaraes. Caicedo wins the duel this time. And it's Palmer. He's found the way through. Palmer gets a cross in. Botman with the clearance. And that's been won straight back. Cross in. Botman getting this one clear. Fofana cuts it out. Palmer. Caicedo. Palmer. Caicedo. Cross to the back post.
It was hopeful, to say the least. You need more men inside the box, more movement, otherwise it's pretty much a waste.
Fernandez. Cucurella has it out wide and in space. Can he deliver? Botman. Elanga. And it's Guimaraes. Gordon.
Great chance!
Fernandez. James. Palmer. Colwell. Fernandez. Chalobah. Pedro Neto. Cucurella. Chalobah. Cucurella. Caicedo. Elanga. Excellent challenge there, uncompromising. Fofana. Cucurella. Fofana. Colwell. Fernandez. And it's played forward. Hall. Botman. Gordon. Hall. Showing good feet. Back into the middle. Oh, that's neat. Bruno Guimaraes. Tonali. Foot in. The referee's awarded a free kick. He knew what was coming. That's a yellow card.
Well, sometimes a loose foul can trigger a completely different spell of play, and it makes even less sense.
Chalobah gets rid without sophistication. Gordon. Tonali. Elanga. Nice looking ball. Defending of the desperate variety. And it's Hall. Lovely bit of skill. Now who's going to be first to this? Now it's Bruno Guimaraes.
There's the shot!
The whistle is gone and it is all over. So smiles all round as they shamelessly indulge in the post-whistle euphoria. A win achieved through the right balance of industry and inspiration. A really satisfying day's work. How would you summarise what we've seen today then, Jim?
Well, it was engaging, if not an edge of your